Hello and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share, subscribe if you haven't already. It's very interesting watching these topics centered around halftime, and everybody wants to question what is Jay-Z's affiliation with the NFL really doing for the black culture. Well, it's funny how people want to conveniently skip past a lot of accusations that surrounded this all-star lineup. And it's very coincidental that people have a selective outcry when it comes to certain names being dropped. When I first started speaking on this topic, I made it very clear that I believe that Robert Kelly would not be the only celebrity involved in this type of scandal by this movement. However, I believe individuals came out here to create a diversion when it became obvious that all these characters who participated in these accusations are not very credible. In fact, a lot of them should be investigated for their roles in this criminal conspiracy we've watched play out on social media. When I hear so-called established attorneys say things like, when you're accused of a crime, it's your burden of proof to prove that you're innocent, this is the bullshit that is wrong with our judicial system now. It is supposed to be the law that these officials, these prosecutors, prove their case without shadow of a doubt, not for people accused to prove they're innocent. And this is my problem with a lot of these individuals who came to me claiming to support this man who I clearly saw had other agendas and other things going on in their backgrounds. So when I watch them continue to slander me and slander other people, it should be very clear why I don't associate with the fraudulent activity they try to put me in the mix of, that you watch them participate as they continue to clout chase this whole saga. Now, it's one thing to document what you see. It's one thing to give your opinions about certain things. But when you create a platform and you're dedicated towards harassing and slandering people, at some point the general public has to stop and say, something is not right with this case. And if you continue to listen to slow people divert your attention from the key points that people should point out, the very thing that I said at the very beginning of my blogging was that this can affect each and every one of us simply because we're allowing these people to violate a person's rights. Let's put aside the accusations and the charges. Let's talk about this criminal conspiracy we've seen playing out on the internet and how other individuals are latching on to these type of movements to push their agendas. Now, those that have been following me for a while know exactly why I side-eyed a lot of these so-called Me Too survivors from the jump. Just like I realized there's a lot of shady business in the entertainment industry, and you'd be surprised how many people are not getting paid for their work. Even stars like Mary J in this halftime performance because of the exposure she got from it. So again, a lot of people don't think about the things that could be triggering people to go along, to get along with these agendas. Just like it shouldn't be a problem for citizens to come forth and demand that these judicial systems, these prosecutors, prove their case instead of creating a media frenzy, public outcry in order to get their convictions, while all these shady ass corporations continue to profit. All these other individuals and their shady ass misconduct is swept under the rug, and all of the black history that should be commemorated is whitewashed. So to wrap up this video, just as I said when it came to Robert Kelly, when you have people, lawyers, people working for you, you see the difference in how things are handled. And it was clear as day that Robert Kelly didn't have the same things that these other people have. Just like when it came to Eminem taking his knee and it being so respected. Meanwhile, athletes who do the same thing have been penalized for exercising their rights, when at the end of the day, just like when it came to my American flag, I have absolutely no respect for a system that sits here and promotes an ideal such as sex sells, that promotes misogynistic attitudes, that promotes this shut up and play, and then tries to give us a few little moments of black history. When if more people knew their history, we wouldn't be sitting on the internet wasting time and energy being entertained by the monkey shit we see occurring behind this Me Too movement. More people would be focusing on the real talking points instead of trying to silence someone like me.
Alright, that's really what it is. I have not gotten no money. That's right. I haven't gotten fucking paid. I did this for my fucking fans. Can't hit 30 fucking hours. Ran out of gas, but still made it here on time. Right. And they tell me I ain't got my money. Right. Well, I can't do that. I've been fucked before too many times in the past. I gotta make an example out of these characters, man. You got my shit? Yeah. God damn, man.
I got it.
So we can do it when you leave.
Yeah, but y'all try to set up a show, another show, to come to Arizona to make this shit up to my fans. I'm gonna make this shit up to my fans for the promoters fucking up today. They didn't give me my money. What am I gonna do?
Right.
I didn't get paid.
Now everything that all the expenses got to come out of his pocket, and he ain't get a dime.
Exactly, man.
I tell him.
Let's go. 26 people here.
Absolutely.
26 people here to make this show happen.
Yep, I got you.
I thought this was America, people.
Charge me, but I'm not guilty.
It didn't take a genius to recognize the deceptions being played throughout this scripted show. But the fact that this show was used to propel an investigation which led to a call to the public to come forth with accusers to pile on these charges against an R&B singer and then portray to the public that he's this mob leader was ridiculous to me. But what I found more crazy was the more I tried to research the facts, the more these weird-ass people just kept popping out the woodworks, trying to make themselves relevant to me, trying to shift my point of view, trying to hide the fact that as I'm showing you, all this shit looked janky than a mug, and a lot of people should be held accountable if you believe the allegations against Robert Kelly. But some things you just can't discuss with crazy-ass people, especially when they believe that the people that tried to extort him in his first trial would come in and help him during all this shit going on now. Even more crazy, the more I showed y'all, the more people just came out and tried to implant me into everything that's going on. But the gag is, all of my devices can be recovered. All of my Google accounts, everything that has been sent to me can be easily traced. And that's why I laugh, because digital footprints tell it all, regardless what these people come to the internet to say. When I showed you all, I believe that Robert Kelly's whole support system has been infiltrated by the people who want to be part of the problem and the solution.
You know, if you pay me right now, because it's my birthday, I've been in the business 30 years. I'm about to be 51, and I'm coming out hours, my nigga.
This seemed like we in a twilight zone. You got the lady that testified against him in the first trial, who appeared on the Surviving R. Kelly saga, who then came out on these platforms co-signing people just to discredit them. Then you got all these people verifying individuals who's been indicted. Then you got these individuals popping up talking about paying people who've been alleged to be cult leaders and people who allegedly tried to extort this man in his first trial, saying that they were going to bail him out. And I'm supposed to take these people serious on the internet when I clearly see that I don't care what they say on their platforms for entertainment purposes. The problem came into when I began to point out to the audience how the things they were performing were lining up to the accusations against Robert Kelly. And even when they called themselves trying to coerce and intimidate some of these witnesses, they didn't like me telling you that this was dumb. So every time the voice of reason comes out here and gives my opinion, you can notice the personal attacks going on YouTube. So just an observation, what I would do is revert back to some of my older videos so that you can see the consistency in the way that I document. And that gives you plenty of opportunity to evaluate the people you're following, readjust the things that you're putting on display, and pay attention to one simple fact, that I don't give a shit what anybody thinks or feel about me. I have nothing to do with this case in general. I just thought I would save a lot of people some time in volunteering my research. But guess what? It's a lot of people on this internet that want you all to stay confused. They want to control the narrative. I just find it comical that the best thing they can say about me is that I'm trying to profit off of R. Kelly. So we just gonna bypass all these people that have spent the last 30 years profiting off of this man. We gonna spend all this time focusing on bloggers and bypass the fact that it's a whole lot of people that owe this man money now. We gonna bypass all these people that been on the internet collecting money on behalf of Robert Kelly that clearly hasn't made it to Robert Kelly. And we gonna try to shift the direction to a blogger who ain't doing nothing but promoting her cakes. Make this shit make sense.
All of this, you're gonna see this in future testimony, but Azrael knows where everything is. When I say the tapes, she knows who's who. She knows where the bank accounts are, where the money is. She knows who's using who. Not seen what we've been trying to show you, that you've been brainwashed. But once she watched that documentary and she read the emails that I sent over to her, that he was sending to Joycelyn, telling Joycelyn the same things that he told her, hiding other tapes for Azrael, just like London on the Track's mom was doing, Cheryl, I forgot her last name, Cheryl Mack or whatever. And so I'm trying to tell you without telling you too much, because like I said, this is a federal case, and I've even helped out the feds with all the information that I've been given. So I was working with the Department, was it the Department of State? Homeland Security, one of them damn please. Homeland Security, my lawyers were to hand them over everything that we had received.
Get the bag, get the bag. Y'all niggas know what it is. You know we get the bag, the bag, the bag. And you know we get the bag, the bag, the bag. And you know I gets the bag, the bag, the bag. We get the bag, the bag, the bag. Too big. Look at the whip, look at the whip. Check out the wrist, check out the wrist. Walk in the club, walk in the club. Already lit, already lit. Got niggas on wait. Hold up, got bitches on go. Come on, come on. Got perp out a pound, perp out a pound. So you know we gon' blow. You know we gon' blow. She throwing pussy, so I'm throwing money. Bend it over, now she putting it on me. Never met her, come a VIP. Nigga looking like he wanna run up on me. Just in case 100,000 on me. One for calling, that's a